Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, but instead of talking just Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates here today, we are live breaking down the latest signings and trades of the NHL free agency cycle beginning here today. The signings will become official here starting at 12 o'clock, so just 8 minutes from now, we are expected to see a whole bunch of stuff go down. We will break down any new signings and trades as they come in, mainly talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins here today. We are live, and we are expected not to see much from them, honestly. David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period podcast, one of the top NHL insiders out there. The Penguins, instead of going out big game hunting today, they're expected to take a sort of low profile approach, go out, get some young, unproven guys, maybe sign a couple to 2 or 3 year deals. But we're going to be on here. Mainly what we're looking for the Penguins to do today. Are they going to ship off any of their big assets, Erik Karlsson, Rickard Rakell, and Bryan Rust, to be exact? Right-handed shot defensemen. They are in high demand right now in the Penguins with Erik Karlsson. Especially with last night, Evan Bouchard, he re-signs with the Edmonton Oilers. Aaron Ekblad re-signed with the Florida Panthers. Not too many high-profile right-shot defensemen are out there. And Karlsson, he's the only one really being dangled out there by the Penguins. So could he be on the move today? Quite possibly. We will break down and react to that in live time should it happen. Rickard Rakell for the Penguins. High price tag on him. I doubt we see him get moved here today, but hey, crazier things have happened. Also, same thing with Bryan Rust. Kind of 50-50 leaning more towards unlikely that he gets traded here today. Kyle Dubas said that he understands how much Bryan Rust means to the Pittsburgh Penguins organization and the city of Pittsburgh, so he set a very high price tag on him. Also, with Rust, it could be easier to move him today if Dubas is compelled to do so, because Bryan Rust's no movement clause in his contract expired today. So just looking here at some of the latest NHL deals that have gone down. If you look at the bottom of your screen, I will try to update that periodically, all of the different trades and signings that happened here today. Just going over some of the more recent ones over the past 3 days, the major ones that have come. J.J. Peterka got traded from the Buffalo Sabres to the Utah Mammoth for I believe, Michael Kesselring and Josh Doan. He immediately then signed a 5 by nearly $8 million contract. By the way, if you look at the bottom of your screen, if you see, 5 by 5, 8 by 7, that is the year of the contract, the length of the contract in years. So right there, if you see Matthew Knies 8 by 775, that is the 8 being the year length of the contract, the 7 by 75 or the 7.75. That is how much he is going to be paid per year. That is the AAV. Let's go to the comment section real quick. Got a Habs fan in here, Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Hope you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, just like the rest of you. Also, feel free to like, share, and comment, just like Charlie on this. Go Habs, go! Indeed, your Habs. They just made a move here within the past couple of minutes, shipping off defenseman Logan Mailloux. He is heading to the St. Louis Blues for Zachary Bolduc. So we're going to keep on top of all that. Just going here on TSN, of course. I have TSN, their live free agent signing clock right here. We are now 4 minutes and 50 seconds away from the free agency period officially opening. We will break down any new deals that come in. I just saw there at the bottom of the screen their top UFAs. Penguins defenseman Matt Grzelcyk. He will probably be signing a deal elsewhere today. Just going, looking over here, the latest deals that have gone down over the past couple of days that are major. Like I just said, J.J. Peterka, he signs a 5-year deal in Utah after getting traded there from Buffalo. John Tavares, he re-signs with the Toronto Maple Leafs on a team-friendly $4.38 million deal to keep him in Toronto for the rest of his career. Of course, the big draft day trade and sign, Noah Dobson going from the New York Islanders to your Montreal Canadiens. The deal he signed right here, an 8 by $9.5 million deal. Sam Bennett, Eric Ekblad, and Brad Marchand, they are all staying in South Florida there. The Stanley Cup winning champion Florida Panthers, they're bringing the crew back for another run at it here year after year. 8 by 8 for Sam Bennett. For Aaron Ekblad, it is a, where'd I just have it? For Ekblad, it is a 8-year by $6.1 million deal. And for Marchand, a 6-year, $5.25 million deal. Of course, you see it at the bottom of the screen. The biggest move of this free agency cycle so far, Mitch Marner. He gets traded to the Vegas Golden Knights for defenseman Nick Waugh, and he signs an 8-year, $12 million AAV deal, $96 million over the next 8 years for Mitch Marner. Massive trade and sign there. Also, there was, some sketchiness to it, I would say. There were rumors of possible, collusion and stuff going on, and that Vegas could have faced a penalty, or Vegas could have, gotten in some trouble had the sign and trade not gotten done, but they got that done yesterday. Looking here at some others, Alexander Romanov, he re-signs on a ludicrous 8-year, $50 million deal with the New York Islanders, $6.25 million per year. I thought that was absolutely insane for Romanov to sign that deal, or, for the Islanders to give him that deal. Nick Hague from the Vegas Golden Knights, he is now a Nashville Predator, got traded there for, I believe, Colton Sissons and Jeremy Lauzon, if I'm not mistaken. He signed a 4-year, $22 million deal, comes out at $5.5 million per year. Matthew Knies of the Toronto Maple Leafs signing a 6-year, $46.5 million deal, $7.75 million per year. Claude Giroux, 1-year, $2 million deal to stay in Ottawa for another year. Looking else here, these are some of the newer ones right here. Evan Bouchard last night, 4 years, $10.5 million per year for him. And looking here, Ivan Provorov, a 7-year deal, a little over $8 million per year. Thatcher Demko and Connor Garland, they are back in Vancouver on a 6-year deal for Garland, a 3-year deal for Demko. And Logan Stankoven, he will stay in Raleigh, North Carolina on an 8-year deal $6 million per year in that deal. And the last one here that just came in right before I went live, Jake Allen, a 5-year, $9 million deal to stay with the New Jersey Devils, a team-friendly $1.8 million per year deal. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, about to begin. It is 12 o'clock here on the East Coast. Breaking news, the 2025 NHL free agency period is officially open. All right, we are going to be breaking down some deals as they come in here. Also, a couple of trades that I forgot to mention. These happened right before I went live. Charlie just said it, just told you. Zach Bolduc, he's heading to the Montreal Canadiens for defenseman Logan Mailloux. This one right here just happened about 12 minutes ago now. Sam Lafferty, he is heading from the Buffalo Sabres to the Chicago Blackhawks for a 6th-round pick in next year's draft. Victor Arvidsson, bottom 6 winger for the Edmonton Oilers, is now a Boston Bruin. He gets sent to Beantown in exchange for a 2027 5th-round pick. Going to be perusing Twitter quite frequently here to get on top of these deals as they come in here. Bob McKenzie of TSN saying that there is no guarantee that Nikolai Ehlers, winger for the Winnipeg Jets, will sign a contract with a new team here today. Ehlers has been tied in with a handful of contending teams. I think the two most likely bidding for him for his services, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Carolina Hurricanes. Pierre LeBrun here, as we had reported, the Habs and Blues had talked about a larger trade, sending Jordan Kyrou to the Montreal Canadiens. That did not happen. Victor Arvidsson waived his no movement clause to go to Boston as well. Looking here, seeing if anything else will be coming across here. The Mitch Marner trade now officially complete. Marner to Vegas for Nicholas Watt, a 1-for-1 deal. Really, Toronto had no great amount of leverage in the deal to get more back than a defenseman there, because Marner, he was going to walk regardless. Emily Kaplan, Nikolai Ehlers, and Brock Besser, the top players available today. Defenseman Vladislav Gavrikov is expected to sign with the New York Rangers and be Adam Fox's partner. No official deal has been confirmed yet. Jack Eichel and Kirill Kaprizov are eligible to receive big extensions here today. Corey Perry is testing the market. And then, of course, here, her last one here, the Penguins' attractive trade candidates here today, Brian Rust, Ricard Raquel, and Erik Karlsson, but they will be patient. Maybe the Pens, they sign some bottom 6 players today, pretty much going to go youth here. You could also see them, the Penguins, ship off some other minor assets as well. Noel Acciari, Kevin Hayes, they are, I think, available. Don't see any reason why they wouldn't be available here today. Maybe you can get, a mid-round pick for them or a prospect. Trying to get everything together here. Looking at some top free agents still available here today that have not already re-signed or signed elsewhere. Nikolai Ehlers, Vladislav Gavrikov, Gabe Vilardi as a RFA. Brock Besser is out there. Mikhail Granlund, he could not reach a deal with the Dallas Stars. He is available. Patrick Kane, I think he re-signed with Detroit last night. Looking here, if there is anything else for these guys. Kyle Palmieri, I think, is out there. Okay, we will stay on top of it everywhere here today. Radek Faksa, Luke Cunnin out there. Luke Cunningham would be a guy I think I would take for the Pens. Nice bottom two-line grinder right there. I will say not the most star-studded crop of free agents this year. So we will be talking about some minor deals here or there. Looking if there is anything new here that TSN is putting out there. Ryan Johnson and Jack Rathbone, two young players there for the Buffalo Sabres. They re-sign. Looking here. Brian Dumoulin, also former Penguin. He is available today. Kevin Weeks, NHL insider. New York Islanders are among the potential landing spots for goaltender David Rittich today from the LA Kings. Nine of you in here right now. I appreciate you joining me. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, smash that like button, share this live stream, and comment in the live section, just like Charlie did earlier. Here we go. Got a list in front of me of some of the top UFA free agents. Just talking more about what the Penguins could do today. Carlson, Raquel, and Rust. They're at least not completely off the table. Carlson, he'll have, I think, a decent trade market for him. Same thing with Brian Rust. Rust has been talked about. The Buffalo Sabres, Columbus Blue Jackets, they have interest. I also think, like, looking more towards the top contending teams, maybe the Edmonton Oilers could go after a Brian Rust. We are now 8 minutes into free agency, and I haven't seen too many new deals come through since we've been live. The Vegas Golden Knights officially posting the graphic here. Trade is official. Mitch Marner to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Nick Waugh. Marner will wear 93, just like he did during his days in juniors. Also, for baseball fans out there, happy Bobby Bonilla Day. He gets paid today. It's always a day to celebrate for baseball fans up until 2035. Also today, Penguins holds a special day in our hearts. 10 years ago today, the Penguins, they kicked off their quest for back-to-back Stanley Cups. 10 years ago, trading Kasperi Kapanen and others to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Phil Kessel, the legendary Phil the Thrill. Also, aside from hockey, here's some other big NFL news has happened today. I was on here for, I think, nearly 2 hours yesterday breaking down the massive Jalen Ramsey trade to the Steelers, along with Jonnu Smith for Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Dolphins today, they found a new tight end, bringing Darren Waller out of retirement. Just recently retired a couple of months ago from football, and now he is back. The Dolphins had to send a couple of late round draft picks to the New York Giants to get Waller's services. Looking here, talking about Nikolai Ehlers, the most. TSN has their 3-desk set up there, talking about any of the newest trades coming in here. See if anything else is coming in here. Just going to go over some of the signings from today, both major and minor. Also, a couple of signings from yesterday. Henry Jokiharju and John Beecher. They sign a couple-year extensions with the Boston Bruins. Kasperi Kapanen stays in Edmonton for another year on a 1-year deal. Jonathan Berggren stays in Detroit for another year. Steven Lorentz signs a 3-year, $4 million. He'll make a little over $1.25 million per year with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Andrei Kuzmenko stays with the Los Angeles Kings on a 1-year, $4.3 million deal. In addition to bringing back Sam Bennett, Aaron Ekblad, and Brad Marchand, Thomas Nosek will also stay in South Florida. Their 4th-line center they retain. Anthony DeAngelo signs with the New York Islanders a 1-year, $1.75 million deal. Joel Hanley to the Calgary Flames on a 2-year deal. Very quiet start here to free agency officially opening. Looking here for anything new. Of course, if you want to keep along top NHL insiders out there to follow on days like these, Elliot Friedman, David Pagnotta. We got two deals officially. So let me hit the graphic here. First time using the graphic today. And there's 2 back-to-back here. The Philadelphia Flyers, they have signed forward Christian Dvorak to a 1-year, $5.4 million deal from Elliot Friedman. He then follows it up. Colin Blackwell staying with the Dallas Stars on a 2-year deal, making $775,000 on that deal. So Christian Dvorak, someone who I thought the Penguins, they might have a little bit of interest in as a 3rd-line center. But I think he's, 28 years old. Let me bring up his statistics here. Christian Dvorak, former Montreal Canadian and Arizona Coyote, I believe. 6'1", 190 pounds. Last year, played in all 82 games, had 33 points, was a -5 in the plus-minus department, 12 goals, 21 assists, a 1-year deal, just under $5.5 million. I think that's a nice deal for the Philadelphia Flyers. Also, they could use some center help behind Sean Couturier after getting rid of Scott Laughton at last year's trade deadline, shipping him off to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So Christian Dvorak is going to Philadelphia. See if there is anything else here. Pierre LeBrun now coming in here. I think I mentioned earlier, Emily Kaplan said that Vladislav Gavrikov could be going to the New York Rangers to pair up with Adam Fox. Pierre LeBrun says otherwise here. Very reasonable chance that Vladislav Gavrikov gets more than Ivan Provorov. Oh, never mind. I thought that meant Gavrikov was staying in Columbus. So could be seeing a big payday for Gavrikov, more than Ivan Provorov did. Elliot Friedman now joining one of the other insiders earlier, saying we are not going to hear a deal for Nikolai Ehlers here today. It's going to play out a bit. Going to see if there's anything else here. Waiting for some more juicy signings here today. Brock Besser, also a couple of other trade candidates around the league. Jason Robertson, I think he still might be dangled out there by the Dallas Stars. They wanted to sign Mikael Granlund. That did not end up panning out. The signing of Jonathan Toews after some time off from hockey. Jonathan Toews officially signs with the Winnipeg Jets. That is now official. Elliot Friedman making a comment about the Carolina Hurricanes. He believes that the Hurricanes would have made a legitimate offer, restricted free agent offer to Evan Bouchard of the Edmonton Oilers. They're going to make him a pretty good offer, but then Edmonton re-signed him at $10.5 million per year. See if anything else is going on here. EJ Hradek, also another good source to follow. Pierre LeBrun, David Pagnotta, Elliot Friedman. We'll say that I will be live for about the first 2 hours of free agency. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long to get some more juicy deals here. Let's look here at this instead. Talked a little bit about Christian Dvorak. Let's see what Colin Blackwell is doing down there in Dallas. 5'8" centerman there, 17 points in 63 games last year with the Stars. Be a fourth line, maybe you plop him in the lineup from time to time player for the Dallas Stars. Going to be 32 years old when the season begins. Still waiting here for a major signing. The TSN free agent frenzy on the screen over here. Just 3 signings in the first 18 minutes of free agency being open now. So slowly waiting here, just looking at the top UFAs at the bottom of the screen. Nikolai Ehlers, probably won't see anything on him today. Vladislav Gavrikov, Brock Besser, and Mikael Granlund. Those are the top players available. Dmitry Orlov, he's also available. Pius Suter, looking more likely he is going to re-sign with the Vancouver Canucks. Jack Roslovic would be a guy I think the Penguins could, possibly be interested in for maybe a third line winger or possibly a second line winger, depending on the trades they make. Cody Ceci, the former Penguin, available. Brent Burns being an unrestricted free agent. Quite a bit of former Penguins. Brian Dumoulin, Brandon Tanev as well. They are available. Jeff Skinner, the former Buffalo Sabre, as well. Max Pacioretty available. Evgeny Dodonov available. Here's one of the first updates on the board. Christian Dvorak has the Philadelphia Flyers logo next to him. Matt Grzelcyk of the Penguins is available. Taylor Radish and Anthony Beauvillier. Beauvillier was with the Penguins last year. Taylor Radish, I think, would be a guy that the Penguins could take a look at. Young bottom line winger. That's what Kyle Dubas has said he is going to be looking for this free agency cycle. Penguins, even though they might not have, said it out loud, they are in a rebuild here. They went with a quantity over quality approach to the NHL draft last weekend, making 13 selections. Probably going to try to tank out this next season for Gavin McKenna. But Dubas did say maybe the most the Penguins are going to do during free agency, 2 to 3 year deals max. Look for young, unproven players or young players who did not get a fair shot at their previous stops. Possibly, if I had to guess, you're probably going to see some 1 year deals get thrown out there, and then those young guys can either be extended or shipped off at the trade deadline. Brock Besser here. David Pagnotta. The LA Kings, they'll be pursuing Besser hard. Anything else here? The Matthew Knies extension with the Toronto Maple Leafs has been made official. Good payday for him. Parker Kelly has just re-signed with the Colorado Avalanche. A 4-year, $1.7 million deal for a nice grinding fourth line player for the Avs. Gary Bettman on live right now with the Pat McAfee show. Wonder what he thinks of NHL free agency getting underway. I'll go back and see what he had to said later on. Chris Johnston, insider for The Athletic. I could see Kirill Kaprizov pushing $15 million per year on his next contract. Wow. Insane. I will say this, also some releases, some buyouts have made official here today. One guy who could be coming back to the Penguins talked about the Penguins, their old cup runs. Maybe Connor Sheary makes his way on back. Seemed to be the perfect guy to come back, teach the young kids the ropes on what it means to be a Pittsburgh Penguin, and then he'll get traded off for, who knows, a 4th round pick here at the trade deadline next year. Looking here, a really slow start. Only 3 signings still, and now we are pushing half an hour. Ottawa and Adam Gaudette, they continue to talk on a contract, so he's heading to the free agent open market. David Pagnotta, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they are actively shopping Calle Jarnkrok and David Kampf. I'm sure some team who needs bottom 6 help might take a stab at that. A new look for the Toronto Maple Leafs will be coming next year. already extended Matthew Nyes. They got Nick Waugh for Mitch Marner. They signed or traded for Matias Maccelli from the Utah Mammoth. Another trade here, this one last night, pretty significant. Vladimir Tarasenko spent 1 year or 2 years with the Detroit Red Wings. He is now a Minnesota Wild. Got traded there for future considerations, just a salary cap dump there by the Red Wings. Possibly that then led to them getting the Patrick Kane deal done. Waiting here for something significant. Holy crap. 9 of you in here right now. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. Like and share and comment on this live stream as well. Also, I'm sure tiny bit of chatter will be about Connor McDavid. He will be going into the final year of his contract next season. And after back-to-back years of heartbreak for the Oilers got to ask themselves if they are going to go all in to try to re-sign McDavid at all costs, or if maybe they are considering trading him off for a very hefty return instead of losing him for nothing possibly in next year's free agency cycle. That's what the Penguins are going to do, actually. They're going to tank out this year. They got a ton of cap space right now as is. They might be bringing in some, older guys on, hefty deals, bring in some young guys and draft picks. But they are going to have a pretty low salary to pay to their players probably this upcoming season. They tank out, they get Gavin McKenna, then they throw a boatload of money at Connor McDavid next year during free agency, and you'll have McDavid, Crosby, and McKenna, the past, the present, and the future, all on one team. Very unrealistic thinking by me. Got another minor deal here. Amir Mifatakov, a goaltender, taking this as a KHL or other overseas league signing. 25-year-old goaltender signing with the Carolina Hurricanes here. No new trades as well yet. Sam Lafferty going to the Chicago Blackhawks for a sixth. Logan Mailloux and Zach Bolduc swapping places. Those are the only two trades we have seen today. Be disappointing if this is a very quiet open to free agency over here on TSN showing Corey Perry, 40-year-old winger. He's testing the market. If you're the want to look on the bright side with Corey Perry, whatever team signs him will make the Cup Finals next year. The downside, that team will lose in the Cup Finals. Five years in a row, right? I think is what Corey Perry. It's been on a streak, 5 years going to the Cup Final and losing in all of them. A real slow start. Everyone wondering where are the deals. Vegas kind of, sucked the life out of it a little bit by not, letting us wait till Mitch Marner could hit the open market. another minor signing here. The Flyers, they are also signing defenseman Noah Juulsen to a 1-year, $900K deal. Flip-flopping defenseman there. He'll bounce up and down between the NHL and AHL, if I had to guess. Left shot D-man. And just looking, NHL Network posting last night the top 5 centers in the free agency class. Christian Dvorak already off the board. Pia Suter available. Former Penguin Nick Bjugstad available. Roddick Foxa, Sean Kuraly. Really, aside from maybe Dvorak and Suter, all third and fourth line centers available this class. Andrew Mangiapane, former Calgary Flame and now apparently former Washington Capital. He's available out there. Tanner Jeannot of the LA Kings, he is out there. Is he a RFA or UFA? Anyway, he'd be intriguing for the Penguins. Penguins, they need some grit and sandpaper on their team. They didn't address that really in the draft, which I wanted them to trade up and take Porter Martone, but that didn't happen. Maybe they go out and get Jeannot, can put up a couple points, but also will not put up with any crap out there. How do you do last year? 6'2", 220. Put up 13 points in 67 games, 7 goals, 6 assists. Put him on the third or fourth line. Penguins, by the way, they got some RFA work to do. They did not qualify Connor Dewar or Philip Tomasino, but they are trying to get deals done with them. Forward Vasily Ponomarev, considered to be one of the Penguins' top prospects. He has signed a deal in the KHL, so I'm not sure what's going to go on there, but he's most likely going to be going back overseas. Notable players for the Pens who did not receive qualifying offers: Emil Bemstrom and defenseman P.O. Joseph. Also, what the Penguins could be looking for, we talked about them possibly acquiring young bottom 6 forwards, according to Elliot Friedman and also Josh Yohe from The Athletic, talking about the Penguins, Will Cooley and Jack McBain. Those could be targets for the Penguins. Wonder if the Penguins will make any offer sheets to RFAs today. Hold up, ladies and gentlemen. We got a big one. A big signing finally happening here. Hold on. Brock Boeser is staying in Vancouver after all. Let me see here. Let me just confirm here. Chris Johnston, Pierre LeBrun, they're all reporting a 7-year, $7.25 million deal signed by Brock Boeser to stay in Vancouver. Big signing, finally. The top forward, arguably, is now gone, aside from Nikolai Ehlers. I don't know which one you would put above the other, but big signing there. There's the first massive signing, Brock Boeser. A 7-year, $7.25 million AAV to stay with the Canucks. Let me see here. Pull up Brock Boeser. Also, I just saw another thing from Kevin Weeks. I guess you would call the top player looking to come over to the NHL from the KHL, Maxim Shabanov. The favorites to land him, according to Kevin Weeks, the Flyers, the Mammoth, the Rangers, and the Islanders. Let's go here. Brock Boeser last year, 50 points in 75 games, even right across the board. 25 goals, 25 assists, with a dash 25 in the plus minus, though. Holy crap. 16 penalty minutes. Averaged just a little over 18 minutes of ice time a night. He signs on a nearly 7x7 deal with Vancouver. Now we are hopefully going to start getting a little bit of action. The Penguins, I don't see any reason why they, won't be active here. I'm sure teams, who maybe missed out on Brock Boeser might be calling up the Penguins now. Could be making pretty lucrative offers for Rickard Rakell and Brian Rust. Who knows? There's the new deal at the bottom of the screen here, trying to keep up with these as much as possible. At the bottom of the screen, any major signings or trades that happen, I will be putting them in there now. At the end of this, you will see the newest big one, Brock Boeser, staying in Vancouver. A major piece off the board. Oh, we got another deal here. Don't know the exact terms of it yet, but we got another deal. This here from Bob McKenzie. It sounds like the LA Kings, they are finalizing a deal with Corey Perry. No terms on that have been released yet, but Corey Perry going from Edmonton to the team that Edmonton has knocked out of the playoffs for 4 straight years in the LA Kings. Probably going to be, you would think it would be a 1-year deal, given Corey Perry's age. Just got to wonder what the price tag on it is. Corey Perry heading to the Kings. Of course, the big one right now, Brock Boeser, a massive change of heart, staying in Vancouver on a 7-year, $7.25 million deal. We don't have a free agent signing, but we got a big extension here. The San Jose Sharks, they are keeping winger William Eklund in town, a 3-year extension. He'll make just over $5.5 million per year. So Eklund, his brother just got drafted by the Islanders. He is going to stay on the other side of the country with the San Jose Sharks. Let me pull up here. Let's talk about Corey Perry. Now apparently heading to the LA Kings. Played 81 games last year. Great durability for him in his age 40 season. Put up 30 points, though. 19 goals, 11 assists. Was also a big reason why the Edmonton Oilers made the Stanley Cup Finals. They just so happened to run into an absolute buzzsaw in the Florida Panthers. But Perry, he really stepped up in the playoffs there for the Oilers. Do I have his playoff sheet right here? Where's Corey's playoff stats? Where is it? Playoff stats here. 14 points in the... No, that was shots on goal. Yeah, 14 points. I got that right. 14 points, 10 goals, 4 assists in last year's playoffs, or in this year's playoffs. Stepped up big as well in the absence of Zach Hyman, who got knocked out of the playoffs with injury. So Corey Perry now hoping to get the LA Kings over the hump. And I just said it a couple minutes ago, congratulations to the LA Kings on making the Stanley Cup final next year. Because Perry, for the past 5 years, he's made the finals but lost all of them. Or at least, what was it, 5 out of the last 6 years Perry's been on a Stanley Cup final appearing team that's lost. Something like that. Finally, getting some action here. Bob McKenzie, he was the one that broke Perry to the LA Kings. Also, just a minute ago, William Eklund re-signing on a 3-year deal with the San Jose Sharks. Let me bring up his profile real quick. Eklund was a first-round pick, 7th overall by the Sharks back in 2021. 58 points in 77 games last year. Impressive production on a not good, still very young San Jose Sharks team. Over 40 assists, 41 assists, 17 goals. Averaged almost 20 minutes of ice time last year. 19 minutes, 30 seconds of ice time average for him. And if you look at William Eklund's career, he slowly had a tick up here in production. Only played in 9 and 8 games in brief, appearances with the Sharks. But last year, or I should say 2 years ago with the Sharks, the 2023 to 24 season, played 80 games, had 45 points. In 3 less games this past season, bumped his production up to 58 points. So William Eklund will be staying out. Oh, didn't mean to hit that. Will be staying out in San Jose for a while. Boeser to Vancouver. Pretty crazy. More here from Frank Saravalli. The Colorado Avalanche have been engaged on keeping defenseman Ryan Lindgren since clearing out cap space, trading away Charlie Coyle. Sounds like Lindgren is going to be getting some offers on the market here today. So after a brief or a bit of a stalling to open up free agency, not many deals. We got some pretty good ones back to back to back. Eklund re-signing, or I should say signing an extension with the Sharks. Boeser stays in Vancouver. And Corey Perry is heading to the LA Kings. We got another signing as well. Perry not only going to the Kings, another player is going to the Kings as well. Frank Saravalli on top of this one. Joel Armia, the longtime Montreal Canadian, he will also follow Corey Perry from Canada to LA. The Kings getting 2 experienced wingers on their team with notable playoff experience for each of them. So Joel Armia, no details on that contract either. He is going to the Kings as well. Looking here at TSN's tracker if they're putting out anything before we see it on Twitter. The Philadelphia Flyers, they just made a goaltender signing. Probably in, a weak goaltender free agency class. This guy might be near the top of available netminders. Dan Vladar is going to Philly on a 2-year, $6.7 million deal. Comes out to $3.35 million per year. 27 years old. I think he was he most recently with the Calgary Flames? I know he's bounced around a little bit. Was with the Flames. Also, I think at one point he was isn't he a San Jose Shark at some point? I don't know. Let me pull up Dan Vladar real quick. Last year, He was with the Calgary Flames. Excuse me, he was with Boston to begin his career, and then he was with Calgary. You don't know why I said he was with San Jose. Anyway, last year with the Flames, 30 games played, 12, 11, and 6, with a 2.8 flat goals against average, an 898 save percentage. So pretty decent goals against average there. Save percentage also just a tick under 900. The Flyers, they were looking for some goaltending help. Looks like they at least got a Band-Aid put on it right now. They their goaltending situation was pretty sketchy. Even more sketchy than the Penguins in some cases. They had Sam Ersson as their goalie. Used to have Carter Hart, but if you're a hockey fan, you're watching this, you probably know why Carter Hart isn't playing hockey. Probably won't be playing hockey again. Not going to, say anything more on that situation. You can go read about it if you want. Simple search of Carter Hart will do that. So Dan Vladar now going to the Flyers from Calgary. What's with all these guys going from the Canadian teams down to the American teams? LA finalizing a deal with Perry. Still waiting for details on that. At least with the Dan Vladar deal, we got it like that. Another big extension was just signed, this time in Washington. Haven't seen this one on X yet, but I'm seeing it here on TSN's free agency tracker. Martin Fehérváry, restricted free agent for the Caps. He is extending there on a 7-year, $42 million year, a 7x6 for Fehérváry, the 25-year-old defenseman. Nice top 4 defenseman for him, for them there. Might be, skimming the bottom of their defensive depth chart here. Not sure. They got John Carlson, Jacob Chychrun. I think Rasmus Sandin is still there. Fehérváry staying with the Caps. 7-year deal. Take a look at Martin Fehérváry, what he did last year. Slovakian defenseman, 6'2", so decent size. 25 points in 81 games last year with the Caps. 5 goals, 20 assists. With the salary cap going up, these $6 million per year, 7-year deals. Just looking at the price tag, we gotta always keep in mind that salary cap is only going up in hockey. And Fehérváry, him making $6 million a year now, that's probably, $3.5, $4 million of, years past free agency deals. So Fehérváry, he is staying with the Capitals. Gage Gonçalves, bottom 6 reserve forward for the Tampa Bay Lightning, signs a extension there. 2 years, $1.2 million per year on his deal. Let me real quick go down here and update the banner at the bottom of the screen with the 2 new major deals. In my opinion, Dan Vladar going to Philadelphia Flyers. That's the Dan Vladar deal. Now it is Martin Fehérváry. How do you spell Fehérváry? Fehervaer. Okay. Always tough to spell his name. Seven by six for Fehérváry. Going to start as we move along here. All of these deals at the bottom of the screen. If I run out of room typing, you'll start to see me eliminate some of the older deals from over the weekend. The newest one, Fehérváry and Vladar. Now in the Metropolitan Division. There's a big one. The big one that another big signing that we've been waiting for. That is now official. Like we were talking about earlier, Vladislav Gavrikov is joining former Penguins head coach, now New York Rangers head coach Mike Sullivan on Broadway. NYR getting a sturdy left shot defenseman. It is a 7-year deal, $7 million, a 7x7 for Gavrikov. Boy, the Metropolitan Division signing most of the notable signings so far. Gavrikov to the Rangers is a 7x7 for the 29-year-old defenseman. Started his career with the Columbus Blue Jackets, then spent the past couple of years with the LA Kings. Last year, Gavrikov, 30 points, 5 goals, 25 apples in 82 games. Plays over 23 minutes a night. He's expected to be, I think it was according to Kevin Weeks, Adam Fox's defensive partner on that top defensive pair for the Rangers. 6'3", 220-pound D-man from Yaroslavl, Russia. Good pickup there by the Rags. And there goes really one of the top defensemen available is now gone. Top left shot defenseman. I think all that's left now is Orlov. He's the only one left. Left shot defenseman. Kind of different aesthetics as well. I think Orlov is more of an offensive-minded guy. Gavrikov more the defensive defenseman out of the two, which is really what the Rangers need. I mean, they were absolutely putrid in the second half of the season last year. They needed to get tougher to play against. Gavrikov will help solve that problem. Two other minor signings, Jack Aiken and TJ Tynan, a defenseman and a center. They stay with the Colorado Avalanche, signing 1-year deals. Or they're going to the Avalanche. I don't know where they are. Joel Armia, his signing with the LA Kings has officially been popped up on TSN here. It's been confirmed. It is a 1-year deal for Corey Perry. Still waiting for the salary number on that. Joel Armia, his signing, it is just blank right now. 32-year-old right winger. No other trades have happened yet. Looks like we got another deal here, maybe? Yes, indeed. The New Jersey Devils, another Metropolitan Division team. It's an arms race in the Metro. Another signing here. They get a winger. Elliot Friedman. This is per Gene Principe, who covers the Devils, or he's a Sportsnet reporter in Edmonton, excuse me. A 4-year deal from the New Jersey Devils is going to go to Connor Brown. It's a 4-year, $3 million deal. Isn't he with the Oilers during the playoff run? So Connor Brown heading to the Devils. 6 foot, right shot winger, 184 pounds, 30 points last year in 82 games played, 13 goals, 17 assists. That's now, we're seeing these players who put up around 30 points last year. They're making anywhere between that $5 to $6 million range, maybe even $7. So Connor Brown, now a New Jersey Devil. Was he there before? No, he was with Ottawa. That's where I get him confused with. Also was a Washington Capital and a Toronto Maple Leaf, but now heads to the Oilers. You see in playoffs last year, Connor Brown. Is there anything? Playoffs last year, Connor Brown, 9 points in 20 playoff games. 5 goals, 4 assists. All right. Nearly half a point per game in the playoffs. Gets a 4-year deal for $3 million. That's a reasonable signing for him. Can hear, is there anything else? I've already seen the 2 deals in Colorado. The Dan Vladar deal is still in the zeitgeist here. Any new news on the Corey Perry or Joel Armia signings? Nothing yet. Still just showing just a 1-year deal for Perry. Let's see. I'll update the ticker here at the bottom of the screen. At the bottom of this screen. There's the newest one right there. Vladislav Gavrikov now added to the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Nothing. All right, now we know. It is a salary bonuses total to $3.5 million for Perry's 1-year deal with the Kings. What's the base salary? We don't know that yet. You know, it could get up to $3.5 million. Is there anything? Don't know the base salary yet. Connor Brown officially added to the TSN free agency tracker. 4 years, $3 million per year. Quiet on the trade front right now. Bit of a slow start here to the day here today. Free agency since it's opened. We went about the first 25 minutes with no major deal. And now they're coming fast and furious. Another one here. Another big deal. So Vladislav Gavrikov in, Keandre Miller out. NHL Network reporting Keandre Miller staying in the Metropolitan Division, going to the Carolina Hurricanes, reportedly. I have not seen any of the insiders here pick up on it. No other insiders have picked up on it yet. NHL Network themselves have posted it 2 minutes ago. Or no, that is a reported trade. That's not a signing. That's a trade. Excuse me. NHL Network saying Miller has been traded. Hang on, I got to hit this then. So K'Andre Miller, immediately after being picked up, immediately after Vladislav Gavrikov gets picked up by the Rangers, is now getting flipped to the Carolina Hurricanes. So there is that new piece of information. Waiting for the other insiders to pick it up here. No idea what the if there's any return on that yet. Back to the Joel Armia to the LA Kings signing. It is a 2-year deal for Armia. No reported salary on that yet. Interesting here from Elliot Friedman. Carolina is pursuing Nikolai Ehlers heavily, even though he probably will not sign a deal today. However, Washington is also in the mix. So K'Andre Miller reportedly has been traded to the Hurricanes here. NHL Network is the only one that's posted that, unless that was the fake NHL Network. Would be odd if the insiders did not get that before NHL Network. Now it's per Elliot Friedman as well, so never mind. Rangers trading K'Andre Miller to the Carolina Hurricanes. We got 2 more signings here of some really scrappy dudes here. So let me get the signing alert back up here. Interesting one here. I don't know if you would call it an overpayment or not, but it is pretty wild. Tanner Jeannot, who we mentioned earlier, signing a 5-year, $3.4 million AAV contract with the Boston Bruins. This might be a quick retool here for the Bruins. Maybe looking to get back into playoffs next year. Tanner Jeannot, a 5-year deal, just under $3.5 million per year. Also, another one here, another tough guy, tough as nails player going somewhere. Michael Pezzetta, bottom line forward for the Montreal Canadiens. He is joining their rival Toronto Maple Leafs on a 2-year deal. $787,500 per year. Pezzetta's deal here, Pierre LeBrun, be $775,000 in year 1, $800,000 in year 2. 2-year deal for Pezzetta, 5-year deal for Tanner Jeannot. 2 bottom line wingers. Bottom 6 wingers there. Colin White, former Ottawa Senator and Pittsburgh Penguin and Florida Panther. He is going to the San Jose Sharks on a 1-year deal. No update yet on what the official salaries are for the Corey Perry or Joel Armia deals to the LA Kings. It's a 1-year deal for Perry, a 2-year deal for Armia. Pezzetta, $787.5K over 2 years. Waiting for something here. They got someone on the screen here at TSN. Nick Cousins will be staying in Ottawa. A 1-year deal. Just $825K for Nick Cousins in New York. TSN has officially put up the Keandre Miller deal to the Carolina Hurricanes. Still TBD on the return. Would think it isn't too much there. Rangers, they kind of needed to move Miller out to get Gavrikov in. So let me add this to the ticker now. There is the newest move there. NYR making moves for Gavrikov, trading Miller to the Carolina Hurricanes. Any newer deals coming out here? Of course, we know Tanner Jeannot, a 5x3.4 with the Bruins. Toronto deal with Pezzetta, now confirmed. Cousins, Nick Cousins, staying with the Senators, or going to the Senators. I think he was there. And else, not seeing anything else here. Sounds like, according to Anthony DeMarco of Daily Faceoff, sounds to him like the Flyers are done for the time being, but have to assume that they are waiting for Maxim Shabanov's decision before making their next move. So looking to get a partner for Matvei Michkov down there in Philly. Okay, not seeing anything else here. All right, going to take a break, and then I will be back with more news. Going to take a quick break. Hour 1 of NHL free agency now in the books. Be right back here in a second with some more news. 12 deals, according to TSN's ticker over there, have been made. We'll be back here in a moment. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to live coverage of the first few hours of the 2025 NHL free agency cycle. Had nice amount of deals roll in so far. Vladislav Gavrikov is now a New York Ranger. Martin Fehérváry extended with the Washington Capitals. Brock Boeser surprisingly staying with the Vancouver Canucks. Christian Dvorak has gone to the Philadelphia Flyers. Corey Perry and Joel Armia, they go from their two respective Canadian teams down to the Los Angeles Kings. We now have an updated salary on the Joel Armia deal. We saw it was a 2-year deal, didn't know the salary. A $5 million deal, so $2.5 million per year for the 32-year-old winger Joel Armia. Also, some other deals that have came in over the past couple of minutes. Connor Brown, a 4-year, $12 million deal with the New Jersey Devils. Michael Pezzetta goes from one end of the Canadiens Maple Leafs rivalry to the other. He is a Toronto Maple Leaf on a 2-year deal. Nick Cousins re-ups with the Ottawa Senators, a 1-year, $825K deal. And Tanner Jeannot, the most recent one, a big deal and a bit of an overpayment. As a matter of fact, not a bit of an overpayment, not a bit of an overpayment, a pretty hefty overpayment. A 5-year deal given to Tanner Jeannot, $3.4 million per year on that deal. Absolutely crazy there. Went the first nearly 25 minutes of the show without any major deal, and now over the past little bit, we've started to see some of the major deals come in. If you look at the bottom of your screen at the ticker there, you can see some of the major signings and trades either from today or from over the weekend. Past couple of day deals there. Some pretty notable ones. Not really that exciting of a free agency cycle thus far because most of the players that would have gone into the free agency cycle have re-signed with their current teams. So we're on the lookout here. Still some decent, free agents out there. Nikolai Ehlers is the top free agent overall left, though we're not expecting him to sign here today. I think Jonathan Drouin is still out there. Mikael Granlund of the Dallas Stars coming off a career year. 66 points in 83 games. He's available. P.S. Suter, Dmitry Orlov, Evgeny Dodonov, Jack Roslovic, Andrew Mangiapane, Matt Grzelcyk, Brian Dumoulin, goaltender Anton Forsberg, defenseman Nate Schmidt. These guys all still on the table. Mainly just some bottom line wingers and bottom pair defensemen are left here. Haven't seen any moves yet from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Waiting for them to make their first signing or trade. Erik Karlsson, Brian Rust, Rickard Rakell allegedly being shocked. But he's got a lot of irons in the fire right now. Trade-wise, said he's going to go after some younger, unproven defensemen, or some younger, unproven players in general. Will hand out at the highest a 2 or 3 year deal to these guys. So definitely embracing the rebuild and the tank for Bedard. Or tank for Celebrini, excuse me. Tank for Bedard, that was years ago. I'm reading stuff here and I'm talking at the same time. The tank for Gavin McKenna. Holy hell, I'm way out there. So the tank for McKenna. On for the Penguins. Just some other news here. Not going to have a normal news live stream later tonight, like how I normally do. If you are a Pittsburgh sports fan, more than just what the Penguins are going to do today. Some more Pittsburgh sports news. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they stay hot, defeating the St. Louis Cardinals last night 7-0, continuing their absolute tear from that New York Mets series, which they beat the Mets in all 3 games of that series, outscoring them 30-4 combined. The Bucks bats showed up pretty much immediately. Spencer Horwitz was leadoff last night, hit a solo home run to start the game. Andrew Heaney went 6 2/3 innings pitched 5 of those without a hit. Only gave up 3 when it was all said and done. Struck out 7. Good game by the Bucks. 7-0 was the final. Pirates are now 24-24, playing 500 baseball under new manager Donnie Kelly. They're 17-9 at home in that span. Also, this was the first time since 1925 that the Pirates have won 4 consecutive games by at least 7 runs. The last time the Bucks won that in 1925, they won the World Series that year. Not saying they're going to win the World Series this year, because they got a hell of a long way to climb out of the hole they are, but we'll see if they can keep this up and stay hot. Looking around here, we've now had about 5 to 10 minutes now without any new major signing or trade. Seems like we hit a tiny bit of a snag here, waiting for some other deals to come in. Tanner Jeannot, the latest. The signing tracker on TSN now up to 13. So nothing new has come out yet. Wonder when we're going to hear word. Penguins, they said that they are going to try to get deals done with Philip Tomasino and Connor Dewar. Tomasino played extremely well with the Penguins after getting traded over to Pittsburgh from the Nashville Predators early last season. And Connor Dewar, the trade deadline acquisition by Kyle Dubas from the Toronto Maple Leafs. I wanted to keep him around as a good third, fourth line energy plug. By the way, the other player that came to Pittsburgh in that deal with Toronto, Connor Timmins, over the weekend, he has gone to Buffalo, got traded there along with Isaac Beliveau in a deal that brought Connor Clifton to Pittsburgh and a second-round pick, which then turned into 6'6" defenseman Peyton Kettles in the draft. Still waiting here. Kevin Weeks on screen over here, waiting for something new here, something fresh. Any new deals here? Anthony DeMarco, who is going heavy on the Flyers coverage right now. The Flyers, they've brought in Dan Vladar and Christian Dvorak. Says that the Flyers are done making moves for the time being, waiting for a decision on Maxim Chabanov. Also, apparently, they might be in on Pius Suter. Depending on what happens there, we will see. Flyers trying to go all in here, get out of the basement of the division. The New Jersey Devils, they have extended qualifying offers to Luke Hughes and former Penguin Cody Glass. I wouldn't mind Cody Glass coming back to the Penguins. I thought he was pretty good for them during the time he was here last year. I did not want to see him get moved. As a matter of fact, I wanted him to get extended with the Pens. Thought he would have been a nice transitional guy pickup during this rebuild period. Trying to find something new here. It's just not out there right now. Also, you follow the Pittsburgh Steelers like me. I was live yesterday breaking down the trade Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Minkah Fitzpatrick and a late round pick swap. Still seeing a bunch of stuff on that. That's going to be all the way. That's going to be on my timeline for quite a while. The Steelers, what an offseason they have had. Probably one of the craziest in team history. They traded for DK Metcalf, paid him a big contract, got rid of George Pickens, then brought in Aaron Rodgers. Then yesterday, trading Minkah Fitzpatrick, who some viewed as a stalwart on this defense, for one of the best corners possibly of all time in Jalen Ramsey. Still waiting here on something new, anything new. We've now hit a lull period in the signings. No new information on even the Corey Perry deal. All we know is that it's a 1-year deal and that he could make up to $3.5 million. No base salary has been revealed yet. Looked at the some of the top free agents out there that are left. Nikolai Ehlers, Mikhail Granlund, Pia Suter, Dmitry Orlov, Evgeny Dodonov, Jack Roslovic, Andrew Mangiapane, James Van Riemsdyk, Nick Perbix, Matt Grzelcyk, Brian Dumoulin, Victor Olofsson, Jeff Skinner, Anton Forsberg, Brandon Tanev, Mason Appleton, Nick Bukestad, Gustav Nyquist, Anthony Beauvillier, Taylor Radish, Tanner Pearson, Lars Eller. Mostly third and fourth line guys from what I am seeing here. We are just sitting here waiting for anything new. Said I'm going to go live here for a little over another half an hour here. Wait for hopefully something to happen, something big with the Penguins here. Be live for the first 2 hours. Maybe if something exciting does happen, I'll push it to 3. There we go. We got a deal. Finally. We got a new deal. Another signing alert. Had to hit it twice there because we got 2 signings. Kaapo Kähkönen, goaltender, former Minnesota Wild, and I believe San Jose Shark. He is signing with the Montreal Canadiens, but the bigger one here, Ryan Lindgren. He is heading to the Seattle Kraken, a 4-year deal, $4.5 million per year. So he goes from the New York Rangers, traded to the Colorado Avalanche, and now he's heading to Seattle to try to steady their defense a little bit. No confirmation on details of the Kaapo Kähkönen signing. But Ryan Lindgren, he is a Seattle Kraken now. Nothing new has happened. Let's go here. Ryan Lindgren, check out his profile here. 6 foot, 194-pound left shot defenseman. 22 points in 72 games last year. Was dead even in the plus-minus department. Played in 7 playoff games with the Avs last year. Got 3 assists in those 7 games. 8 shots on goal. So 12 blocks in the playoffs last year. How many did he have in the regular season? $26 block shots, played 18 games with the Colorado Avalanche. 128 block shots last year as a whole. So you will get in front of the puck on a pretty decent basis. Boy, looking at the Edmonton Oilers forward group over here on TSN, yikes. They need to get something cooking here if they are going to have any chance of keeping McDavid and having a championship with him. Matt Bensel, who covers the Penguins, with a new post here. With a lot of top free agents staying put and several teams looking to upgrade, one would think Kyle Dubas will get serious trade calls. Will a team desperate to make the playoffs next season offer a compelling package for someone such as Brian Rust or Rickard Rakell? Gotta think phone has to be ringing off the hook. I mean, pretty much the Penguins, like Elliot Friedman said weeks ago, the Penguins, they are the only team hardcore selling players right now. So the Penguins, they can name whatever price they want if other teams are everyone else is looking to buy. Got a couple more deals coming through here. One we mentioned earlier, TSN has officially put it up here. A 1-year $900K deal with defenseman Noah Juulsen with the Flyers. The Flyers also signing Dennis Gilbert to a 1-year $875K deal. Decent signing here, the Utah Mammoth, bringing in Kailer Yamamoto on a 1-year deal. Right shot, right wing forward. I would like to think that would be a guy Kyle Dubas will probably be talking about when he says that the Penguins are going to try to go after guys who have some upside and didn't pan out in other places. Yamamoto looked like he was going to be a pretty interesting piece on the Edmonton Oilers. Then he went to Seattle, I think. You barely heard of him. Now he's on his way to Utah. I wouldn't not be surprised if Dubas gave him a call or two before Yamamoto signed with the Mammoth. See if there is anything new here from Elliot Friedman. Just the Ryan Lindgren news. Nothing aside from that stuff. We got another trade here. Oh, this one's from last night. I didn't even see it. It's minor. The Hurricanes trading goaltender. They're getting goaltender Caden Primo from Montreal for a 7th-round pick in next year's draft. Have we gotten any compensation update on the Keandre Miller deal sign or trade? Nothing yet. TSN doesn't even have it up. The Ryan Lindgren deal officially on TSN, 4 years, $18 million, $4.5 per year. 10 of you in here right now, welcome to the channel. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, like, share, and comment in the live chat. The news that we talked about earlier, it was rumored that this was going to happen. It is official. David Riddick officially heading to the New York Islanders on a one-year deal. No salary has been revealed yet. We got another signing here, another center off the board. Nick Bjugstad heading to the St. Louis Blues on a 2-year, $3.5 million deal. Comes out to $1.75 million per year. Former Florida Panther, former Penguin, former Utah Mammoth as well. They pop up Nick Bjugstad's profile real quick. 6'5", 205. Large Bjugstad. 19 points in 66 games last year. 8 goals, 11 assists. Averages just under 12.5 minutes of ice time per night. Decent pickup there for the interesting St. Louis Blues. Rumors about them possibly trading Jordan Kyrou. Are they going to be starting to sell off pieces? Are they going to keep trying to contend? Pretty middle of the road move. This Bjugstad trade pretty much sums that up. Dan Riccio here, who covers the Canucks. Apparently, Brock Besser left money on the table to stay with the Vancouver Canucks. Wonder what made him have a change of heart. I thought he would have gone chasing for the bag. Another signing here, a goaltender. Sources say that the Calgary Flames are closing in on signing goaltender Ivan Prosvetov, who had a great season in Russia. Played 24 games in the NHL in his career. We do have a signing here. The Pittsburgh Penguins. They finally make their first move of the day. This from Irfan Gaffar, but Elliot Friedman is retweeting it, so it's legit. Parker Wotherspoon is going to the Pittsburgh Penguins, a 2-year deal. $1 million AAV. Parker Wotherspoon, former Boston Bruins defenseman here. So let me bring up his profile here. 27-year-old left shot defenseman from British Columbia up in Canada. 6'1", 192. Penguins, they have needed a left shot defenseman. I wonder if they're done going after a left shot D-man and they'll just settle with Wotherspoon here. 7 points in 55 games last year. A -10 in the plus-minus department. Averaged 18 minutes of ice time a night. 3 years in the NHL. First one in which he only played 12 games was with the New York Islanders. Spent the past 2 seasons with the Bruins. Had a 15 points in 96 games. 15 points in 96 games with Boston over the past 2 years. a -4, 41 penalty minutes over the past 2 seasons. Not a knock your socks off move, but hey, the Penguins, they aren't going to be looking to do that here. Really, I think that's, just a bottom pair D-man, if not your 7th defenseman. Penguins, they did not tenure P.O. Joseph, so that might be his replacement there, Parker Wotherspoon, to the Pens. We'll say he will need to pick a new number. Even though it is available, it's not. It's number 29 with the Bruins. We now know a little bit more on the Kailer Yamamoto to the Utah Hockey Club deal. A 1-year, 2-way contract worth $775,000. Still nothing down here on the Corey Perry deal. Thought I saw something that it could be worth up to $3.5 million, but nothing new on his deal. Waiting here for TSN to update their free agency tracker. They're usually pretty up to the minute on this stuff. A 2-year, $1 million deal for the Penguins, Parker Wotherspoon. Going to do a quick update here of the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Take some of these older deals off here, add in some newer ones. There we go. The ticker now updated with some of the new deals. Had to take a couple of the older ones off there, but Parker Wotherspoon, now a Penguin. David Rittich, goaltender, will now back up Ilya Sorokin. Emily Kaplan with an update on Nikolai Ehlers. As free agency carries on, all eyes on Nikolai Ehlers. Believe the Carolina Hurricanes, Washington Capitals, and Tampa Bay Lightning are among the teams in on him. He's doing his due diligence today. Also, more on Parker Wotherspoon, who I view as a P.O. Joseph replacement, maybe even a Ryan Shea. Left shot, bottom pair defenseman, 28 years old. Pretty efficient, both offensively and defensively. Penalty kill, he's all right. In the 95th percentile for penalties. Looking at his profile here for Puckpedia. Okay, I can live with that deal. Brandon J. Summerman, who covers the Flyers. More to come for the Flyers. Hang on. Darren Dreger 5 minutes ago. Things are percolating around Sabres defenseman Bowen Byram. Trade conversations are happening with the Calgary Flames, Vegas Golden Knights, LA Kings, St. Louis Blues. Those are the 4 teams interested in him. Still no update on the compensation from the Carolina Panthers or the Carolina Hurricanes to the New York Rangers for Keandre Miller. Still nothing on Corey Perry. Did TSN update their board here? Waiting for them to put up something news. They're stuck on the Nick Bukestad deal. Ten of you in here right now. I appreciate you joining me as we do live coverage of the 2025 NHL Draft. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss when I'm live again. Nothing, dang. Yeah, signings have slowed down a bit more. All right, let's go instead over some of the older deals here. David Riddick. How's he looking heading to the New York Islanders now? Riddick last year with the Kings, 16, 14, and 2, and 886 save percentage, 284 goals against average. Solid backup option, pretty good, better than what they've had in recent years to back up Ilya Sorokin. They're on Long Island. We'll hear Kailer Yamamoto. Take a quick peek at him, see how he's been last year. Played in just 12 games, 3 points. Yikes. Went from a 41-point season with the Oilers to now just having 3 points last year. What a crazy drop-off from Yamamoto. He's not even 27 yet. That's crazy. Okay, going to take another quick break here. We are now an hour 46 minutes into NHL free agency. See if we can get one more big trade or signing in before I go off for the night. Stay right put. Be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I take a quick, 60-second break, and we already got some more big news brewing here. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they have now made signing number 2 on the day. Let me hit the graphic here. There you go. Okay, so this just now a minute ago from NHL Network, Anthony Mantha is heading to the Pens. No idea what the deal is. You would have to assume this is going to be a 1 year, maybe a couple $1 million deal. And he is going to most likely at the trade deadline be a decent trade chip for the Penguins. So let me bring up Anthony Mantha here. This is the Anthony Mantha from, a couple of years ago. Pens might have some here back in his Detroit days. 6'5", 234 pounds. So brings nice size to the Pens. 30 years old, 7 points in 13 games. Last year, he was with the Calgary Flames. Was with Detroit, Washington, Vegas, and Carolina in his career. 507 games played, 303 points. He was a +6 last year, even though he had just 7 points in those 13 games. So great stuff there from Anthony Mantha in a short sample size. Probably will get a bigger opportunity with the Pens. Also, a couple other ones here waiting for them to officially pop up on TSN's page here. Ethan Bear is on his way to the New York Islanders, a 1-year, $775K deal. Another couple minor ones here. Kaapo Kähkönen, we now know his salary on the 1-year deal he signed with the Canadiens, a $1.15 million contract there. Jordan Harris of the Columbus Blue Jackets, he was not qualified an offer according to Elliot Friedman. He is on his way to the Boston Bruins. Sort of a homecoming of his. Friedman saying he played hockey at Northeastern. But the big one here in the past couple of minutes, Anthony Mantha is heading to the Pens. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be on a 1-year deal. Let me scroll here, see if anything else, if anything new on these deals have popped up. David Pagnotta officially acknowledging, sounds like they're working towards a deal, the Penguins and Mantha. The Nick Bjugstad signing was just made official by the St. Louis Blues. Sammy Blais, the former St. Louis Blue and New York Ranger, he is heading to the Montreal Canadiens. No details on that have been made public yet. So Anthony Mantha, I don't even think he is on the top 40 list for the HockeyWriters.com free agents. But could be a nice bounce back pickup for the Penguins. They did this similar thing with Anthony Beauvillier last year. Pick up a guy who didn't have that much production in his previous place. Maybe they turn Mantha into a nice little 20, 25 point scorer up around the trade deadline. They flip him for a piece at the trade deadline. Also, veteran presence down there in the bottom 6 for what should be a young team for the Penguins this upcoming season. Let me put the banner up here. There's at least the Pittsburgh Penguins Bit of news here today. They are signing Wotherspoon and Mantha. The Columbus Blue Jackets, they make official their extension, 7-year, $8.5 million deal with Ivan Provorov. Another signing here, Nico Sturm, fourth liner, reserve guy for the Florida Panthers. He is going back to the Minnesota Wild, according to NHL Network. Nothing new on the Mantha deal has come across yet. Sammy Blades, a 1-year deal worth $775,000 with the Canadiens. Jake DeBrusk posting 54 minutes ago 2 Canadian flag emojis. That might be in reaction to the Canucks bringing back Brock Besser. Sorry, they're talking about Sid over here. I'm trying to listen in. Ugh. They're talking about trading Sid to get him back in the playoffs in 2026. Get the hell out of here. Sid's not going anywhere. TSN can shut up. We know that they aren't going to trade him. That's the difficult thing about this. You never just want to keep doing it, getting their engagement, farming all the time with this Crosby rumor stuff. Thank you. I think it was Bob McKenzie telling everyone it's not our business, telling Crosby what he should do except to trade everywhere. Thank you. At least someone on that panel said shut up. Okay, do we have any new news here? Oh, we got another signing of a top 40 free agent here. Hang on. Brandon Tanev is going back to the no, he's not going back. I thought that was the Seattle Kraken logo. Brandon Tanev is going to the Utah Mammoth, a 3-year, $7.5 million deal, $2.5 million per year for Turbo. Brandon Tanev, also the Philadelphia Flyers, they just came in signing center Lane Peterson to a 1-year, $775,000 deal. But Brandon Tanev, Turbo, smart plug, energy guy, he's going to be bringing some of that to Utah. I have a feeling they're going to love him there. That is a great pickup for them. Last year, Tanev 22 points in 79 games, 10 goals, 12 assists. With the Winnipeg Jets and Seattle Kraken, got shipped to Winnipeg at the trade deadline. Let's see, what did he do in the playoffs? No, that's extra. Where's the postseason stats? I played 13 games with Winnipeg, no goals or assists, but did block 18 shots in the playoffs. So good pickup there. It's pretty much around the number of on the contracts that he's always been making, 3 years, around the $3 million range, $2.5 million for a dude who go out there, stick his face in a fan for you, run through a couple of guys along the way. Hell of a pickup there. Elliot Friedman and others making that deal official. Of course, the obligatory pictures of Brandon Tanev making weird faces. No newer trades or signings yet. Penguins standing firm. Everyone Penguins wise on here saying the suck for McKenna has begun. Indeed it has. Okay, one more scroll here, see if anything is going on. Nothing. Wow, this is really slowed down. Okay, I think I don't think we're gonna get anything major here. This is gonna be a multi-day thing. I think we saw all the big stuff that we're gonna see today. Nikolai Ehlers did not sign, nor do I think he will sign today. But we did see some pretty big ones: Vladislav Gavrikov, Brock Besser, Tanner Jeannot, Ryan Lindgren. Those guys signing pretty big contracts here today. So I think that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. The news here has really slowed down. The only thing that could, really get things going again is if the Penguins were to make a trade, sell off one of their big three assets, or if, Mikhail Granlund or Dmitry Orlov were to sign. But I think that's going to do it for today. TSN, they've gone to commercial break now. So we'll pick up here maybe tomorrow if the Penguins do any more news. Join me back here tomorrow night for some more Pittsburgh sports news. Bit of a slow day here, but that's all right. NHL free agency has begun. I'm sure more news will trickle in throughout the day, but thank you for joining me here today. One final time, like and share and comment on this live stream. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you never miss when I'm live. Again, I will see you guys back here tomorrow night. Please subscribe to the channel. See you then. Have a good rest of your night. NHL free agency underway.